the list that I've put together in these notes is formulated by my experiences, Bruce's experiences, some of the other guys that I've spoken to's experiences, some research. So it's that all coupled together. Now, and it's interesting, some of the opinions differed a little bit about what we should and shouldn't do. Ultimately, provided you get the paintwork to the best it can be, that's where we need to be. Okay?
The rest is easy.
Before we put the coating on. That's it. It's preparation, preparation, preparation in order to get the product on there looking its best. In your opinion, what is the benefit of starting the application process at, let's say between 12 and 2 o'clock?
So this is
weather.
Yes. So just to wind back to some of the limitations, this time of the year, at least you're going to be getting it at the hottest part of the day. Okay? All right.
So in the summer you want to start at 3 in the morning.
Maybe.
Because 2 o'clock's the hottest part.
Or maybe just start a bit later so that you're putting it on a little bit later maybe.
Yeah.
But bear all those things in mind. And that's, again, from my point of view, that's another good reason to wash the car first, because you're getting to touch the whole car. I don't know about you guys, but generally speaking, as you're washing, if it's got contamination or drying the vehicle, you can hear it, feel it, touch it. You're getting a sense of, what the paintwork's like, and you're touching the whole car.
And what it is that's stuck to it. So if it's something that's soluble, that might wash off if you're lucky.
Yep.
If it's not, a bit more tree sappy or something like that that's scattered on the paint, it's going to be really bonded to the paint.
Yep.
You got to work hard to get it off.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if it's iron failings, like this one,
Yep.
it just feels like
Yep.
running your hand over a brick wall.
Yeah. Could be anything. Could be cement on the freaking thing. Could be whatever. Bitumen. All these different things. So you need to be assessing it, making sure that in your own mind you know exactly what you're dealing with. All right. Iron oxide remover. Does everybody know what that is? Yep. Okay. There's different ones out there. The one that we first had, we got through Brilla and was extremely expensive. But you can get one from AutoClean. It's not on their website. It's called Deep Purple. The Auto Smart one is called Red 7. They're the two that I've sort of highlighted in there. And when you spray it on, you get that reaction. You get that red running down through the paint. And I've done brand new cars that have had rail dust on them, and they just light up because they've got this rail dust sitting on them. And that's just from how they've been transported. So, now Bruce and I are a little bit different on this particular point, but just going back to the preparation, whenever I was doing a ceramic coat, I would choose a few different points on the vehicle, check it out. If nothing lit up, I'd skip that step. However, I think you do it every time regardless. Can you show that to everybody?
I do it before I wash the car.
That's a...
Yeah.
So you do it just like a matter of course before you, with the red 7 before you.
That's what...
Iron oxide.
Yep.
That had a problem with the brakes.
Volunteers, yeah.
Can you just put it in front of the GoPro for me?
Which product is that?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Okay. So that's the red 7. But yeah, he had a problem with the brakes, front brakes, and basically was throwing off metal shavings all over the car. It was brown, like it had red dirt brown on it.
Yeah, so it was rusting. So after you've done the iron oxide, you want to check and see if there's still any surface contamination. Then you may need to clay bar the car. All right?
So I'll iron oxide straight into wash, straight into a bath. Very rarely will I do a clay bar. Okay.
Stop. Don't say anything else. Why would that be?
Because the iron oxide has to remove all the contamination. Why you need a clay bar?
You're a smart ass, you. He's got it.
But there could be other contaminants on it.
Yeah, but you're right. Okay, so there could be other contaminants on it.
Yeah.
Yes, there could be.
Which
But-
doesn't show.
That's right. So, I mean, how do you know?
Smoothness.
You're feeling,
Exactly.
feeling
You're
the car
feeling
when you're washing it.
You're feeling it.
Feeling it
That's
when
right.
you're washing it.
But okay, if you can avoid clay barring, why would you avoid it? Shut up. No, feel free to talk.
It is time
I'm being smart.
It's time
Yes,
consuming.
fine.
It is.
It's time consuming.
What else?
Cost
It's
effective.
scratching the car as well.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't matter what you're doing with clay barring, you will be putting fine scratches in the car. So then you are potentially, not only does the clay barring take longer, but then getting
polish
those,
takes longer.
getting the paintwork back to where you need it to be in order to put it's going to take longer.
And this is why.
But if you need to do it, you do it.
But this is why, if you're at that point, you need a clay bar. I will always use just clay bar. I won't use a clay bar cloth because you'll scratch the living daylights out of it.
Yeah, the
More
cloth is-
potential with the cloth than the clay bar.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to the point where iron oxide's been removed. We've clay barred if we've had to, right? Paintwork should be nice and smooth by now. It's not scratch free, but it should be nice and smooth, ready to be doing any polishing that we need to do. So,
Will the,
Then you
will
wash
the
it.
swirls and stuff show up once you put the coating on? Like the little...
No, they won't, because I will have got rid of them before I
That's not taking all day.
because then you go,
Because if you don't
so
prep
yes, of course they will. So you'll highlight them. It'll
it,
look
highlight
worse.
them.
Yeah, that's right. So Bruce polishes 3 times with 3 different compounds. So the last one's almost like a
White one.
a wax almost.
very,
and a
very,
bloody
you know.
little
It's
cut
going to
of
be
it
on
all.
here. We'll be looking at it shortly. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you necessarily do that?
I've never not polished a car.
Yeah.
I've always polished, even if it's just a light coat. It's one of those things. You do whatever it is you need to do in order to get it right. The only time I've only done 1 step polishing is on brand new cars. Second-hand cars, minimum of 2. I've rarely done 3, to
So
be
you
honest.
use 2 different pads and 2 different polishes. Because you've got different courses there as well, haven't you?
Different pads with
I
different
use whatever's
compounds.
needed. So you guys should all be well enough versed. This is a slightly different conversation as to compounding cars. That's probably another 3 or 4 hour course, really. You should all have the right machines. And I know that when we do the initial training, perhaps we don't cover it as much as what we should, but a lot of what you glean over time is experience based. So as time goes by, you should be picking more and more of that up, of what you need to do. The best way to learn is whenever you're doing something, you start in the least aggressive way and you build yourself up and go, right, that's as far as I need to go.
Yeah.
So that's how we should be doing everything that we do. You start in the least aggressive way and you work your way up to the point where that's going to get the job done, and then you finish it off. Again, personally, I generally at that point I used to almost always wash the car just to make sure there's no dust or anything around. Bruce rarely ever does that.
Again, it's time, but I have spent a lot of time on the compounds, and there will be times sometimes where I only do 2 different grades, not 3. But that to wash it, you again run the risk of putting scratches back on, and then you're going to go over
Yep.
with the isopropanol. So I then treat, because the compounds I use don't produce much dust at all, but that's also because of the way I'm using it with a mist of water.
So it's a wet, you do a wet, like a wet.
Wet's probably not quite the right word.
Yeah, it's a very light mist.
But again, you don't want to be touching it if you can help it. As I make a note here, you don't want to be adding scratches at this point. Once that's all done, you need to be wiping the vehicle over with isopropyl. Okay, that's the final step. Now, just on that as well, the cleaning part of this process with the QFX,
Has it in it?
I have not had this 100% confirmed, but the person who used to own Tough Seal, 99% confirmed that that is all that this is. It's isopropanol. Now, they won't, I've spoken to him about it, they will not sell it without each other.
No, but there's 2 ways you can apply the isopropanol, which will answer this question. Okay?
Yep.
And I do it different to Mark. So I'll apply the isopropanol onto the
The cloth, yeah.
Okay, away from the car.
Agreed, least aggressive way.
Yeah. Whereas
You
Mark,
spray it straight on.
Look, it depends. Like, if it was screaming hot temperature, no way.
No.
I'd be putting on the microfiber cloth. And if and you find as you're going along, your cloth gets more and more loaded with isopropanol. Okay, as you're using it, so you have less need to be applying it to the paintwork. The other
Change
thing,
your cloth regularly.
as needed.
Yeah.
It's the same cloth.
Don't put it in your pocket; it'll burn your leg. Okay.
What is the risk with isopropanol?
That's a question to you guys.
Do you know what the risk using isopropanol?
Getting drunk if you drink it.
It's not really good.
It may damage the paint.
It can make the paint soft.
So you tell me if you do isopropane like that, and then it just dries by itself very quickly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
just- I'll just go
Very
across.
fast.
Like you actually go in a certain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm not putting too much pressure on. I've got a very deep net cloth, the Swiss Vax sham, and so it's really soft.
No, it's still one model, isn't it?
So Bruce is using a slightly softer version of this. Do you want to just pass that around?
One's thicker.
That one's an auto clean one.
Yeah.
They're very good. I love them.
We all
That
have
polishes.
Yeah.
That polishes very well.
Yeah, they're good quality cloths.
But the one that I use for isopropanol, I don't use for anything else. Even though I wash it at the end of that car, I will have that separate just for the use of isopropanol.
Okay. The other thing that Bruce does is Bruce actually uses a mix. He uses isopropanol with distilled water because it's I suppose it's a little less aggressive. Still has the cleaning properties that you need, and obviously distilled water. There's no contamination within that, and a mix is fine with that. I've never bothered. I've always just used it neat.
Straight.
But you know, it's like anything. You need to temper the use of it with some care. All right. These are Barilla. These are the there's a stage one, and then there's a stage two. Within the kit, they have everything that you need. Okay, in order to apply the product, in order to take the product off. Okay. As well as a comprehensive set of instructions once you've done the training. If you should want to go down that track, we can certainly show you that. Then you go to instructions as well with that. Then you go to Tough Seal QFX, a ceramic coating. This is exactly what you get in the kit.
Nothing else.
A pre-cleaner, and we'll come to the pre-cleaner in a minute, and the product itself. That's it. Oh, you get a warranty with it too. You do get
It
warranty.
covers the whole car.
You would find
That would be 3
this,
or
yes.
Wow.
4. Easy.
I get 1.5 cars out of Barilla, and if I've got enough cars stacked up close enough, I can use the residual of the end of one car into a bottle with the residual of another car and get a third car out of it.
Yeah.
It's that applicator because it just.
So that's all you get with that, okay? With this is the carbon coat from the Auto Clean, okay? You get the product, and you get an applicator pad. Nothing to take it off with, no pre-cleaner, nothing like that.
When you say take it off, it's not removing the ceramic coating, but it's actually the buffing, the finishing.
The
product.
residual,
Yeah.
whatever's residual.
Removing the
So
residual.
what's the price tag on that?
Will come. Okay, so price tag on the Brilla stuff. Bruce can tell us that.
It's $400 a box delivered out of China. If you order 5, if you order 1, it's around $500 a box.
So 500. The QFX is 300 plus GST. That's not including delivery. The carbon coat, I think, is roughly about 140. There is also, one of the guys was mentioning, there's an Auto Smart brand as well. I'm going to have to do some testing on that. He's used it quite a bit. Thought it was pretty good to use. I can't compare it, but same sort of price for that one, about 140. Okay. These, I can't tell you what they're selling to me for exactly, but when I'm selling to you guys, I think I'm selling them at around about 90 odd bucks.
That's just a PT.
This is step 1, step 2,
Yeah.
the PTFE.
PT.
Also, bear in mind, that's the instructions
That's
right there. Barilla's instructions are about that thick A4 paper, so you know.
So We'll have to read out.
Which is the reason why we're doing this today. You need to have with you, okay? You'll then need applicator pads or blocks, whatever it might be. I'll show you those in a second. You then also need, obviously, cloths in order to level the surface off. So some of the things that we've got some here. Some different ways to go about it. So I bought some of these from, these are all, the information is all on those sheets, on those links on where to buy this stuff from. If you want to, these are suede cloths, and these are applicator blocks. I'll pass these around one way. So you'd use it like that in order to apply the product. Okay, that's one method. Another method is a suede block. Looks like that. That's basically suede covering some foam.
So that's the last step of the that you put on.
No, this is the first step.
And you use those once, Mike?
Just the
After
prep.
you-
This is
You
the
might
prep.
get in,
This is
yes.
This way,
The first
Yes.
step.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just do it once.
Okay, so you'd need to have them in your vehicle.
So you're actually putting the liquid on that cloth.
And we'll show you that as we come along, but we're still in the process of just going through what you should have in your vehicle.
So once you
Okay.
use one of those things, you'll chuck it out, don't you?
So it's
In
all
my
a
opinion,
throwaway.
yes.
Well, the silica goes
They're
hard
cheap.
like glass, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Then you need to be able to remove it. I mucked around with quite a few different things when I was doing all this. In my opinion, the best way to go about it is just a standard one of these, nice and fluffy, brand new. Okay, so it's got no contamination of any kind on it, and a suede cloth. They're the things that you need in order to get it off. Okay. This will remove any sort of excess that you've put on there, and this will level it. And as you can see, there's virtually no nap on that. It's really nice to pass around. Yeah, so you should have this stuff in your van, what we've just gone through, if you want to be doing this. Okay?